One of the things that can be challenging is to really learn how to feel it. For some people, it comes really easily. In my case, I was a hard case with it, but I found some ways in early on. And so one way to get into the practice, and this is if you've not done it before, and maybe you're the kind of person who finds it challenging to like experience what other people think of as moving of the chi in the body, or even if that comes easily to you, but you want to kind of get into it in a way that really feels particularly, what we might call embodied, is to begin with silk rilling practices. And so there's lots of silk rilling practices. We're going to do a few of them that might lead us into. So without anything further to say, so have your feet out about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Feet are angled out like so. You're going to have your palms down. And I'll mirror you. But as you're looking down, begin to circle your hands clockwise. You could go the other way too, but let's all do it together. I'm mirroring you. It's the opposite for me, but I can handle it, so don't worry. And so this is a version of what's sometimes called belt channel grinding. And you're just circling the hands palm down in front of you at the height of your navel. And even though it's called grinding, your hands are as soft as can be. And so as you do this, imagine that circling around your waist, or actually at the height of your navel, the surface of your body, there's a small marble-sized ball of light. And you're just circling it around in phase with the movements of the hands. And then you're going to go the other way, circle the other way. So now if you're looking down at the hands, they might be going counterclockwise for you. Let the rhythm of your breath be natural. All right, and you're going to go the other way again, but this time it's big belt channel grinding. So you're sweeping the arms all the way around you, palm down. And then you're going to come around in front of the navel, unless you can just keep going, and you're welcome to do that. Big sweeping circles. And then when you're next in front of the navel, you're going to reverse it. All the way around. You begin to imagine that as you do this, you're somehow stirring up the air and anything else around you. You're just beginning to get it, like if you could see them, there's like the eddies and the ripples as you move the hands in circles. All right, now you're going to take your left foot 45 degrees, step forward a little bit with your right, so you're mirroring me. And now you're going to circle your hands clockwise in front of you. But now the fingers and the hands are just kind of dragging or drifting as if stirring liquid in a big cauldron. There's a little bit of shifting of the weight here. So as the hands come forward from your left to the right, you've shifted the weight forward like 60 or 70% in the front. That is your right leg. And then as the hands go from the right to the left, your weight's mostly back in the back left leg. So you're shifting and turning. And here we're beginning to loosen our concern with any kind of precision of what the body's doing. So just kind of feel it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You're just kind of, imagine you're stirring this cauldron in front of you. Just getting it flowing. And if it doesn't feel like much, just then let it be kind of the most abstract of intentions. Just make the circle movements. And we're going to switch sides. So now have your right foot 45 degrees, your left foot is forward, and you're stirring counterclockwise as you look down. Stirring it around. So these are horizontal circles. but they're still circles. And see if you can begin to invite in the sense of the origin of movement, so that it's coming from the space between your navel and the mingmen, between the navel and the point of the spine directly opposite your navel, from the abdomen. And you don't have to think too much about what that means if it doesn't feel like much. Just form the abstract intention. Somehow the origin of these circular movements in front of the body is coming from that space behind your name. Now you're going to bring your feet back to shoulder width apart. You're going to begin to wave the hands at the side of the body. Actually, you know what? We're going to come right into turning the ball. I want you to imagine there's a ball kind of in your body, right? So maybe your body is shaped like out and like a big ball, or maybe you just have to just imagine it's expanded out. There's like a ball, and it's the bottom of it is at your perineum, the height of your perineum. It's inside the body. The back of the ball curves up behind you, and it comes up to about the height of your solar plexus at the base of the sternum, and it rolls down the front. And you're just going to begin stirring that ball or turning the ball, like so the ball can rotate on its axis in the body. And you're just going to bring the hands as you breathe in. The hands are going to come up the back side of the ball, and breathe out. You're going to roll down the front. Going to bring the hands up the back side of the ball, like the backs of the fingers can do the turning. Roll it down the front. And as you breathe in up the backside, you can let the hips come forward a little bit, like counter motion. And as you push and roll the hands on the front, the hips can go back a little bit. So you're breathing in as you turn the ball up the backside. Breathe out, roll it down the front. And then kind of exaggerate it, although this doesn't have to be exaggerated. This can be as much as you do it. Roll up the back, down the front. So you're going to roll up the back, turning the ball. Roll it down the front. So you're just turning the ball. Now, eyes can either be open or closed here. And then imagine that the ball is kind of smushy. And it begins to elongate. So it's more like an oval, but it's somehow turning, comes up to about the height of your chin. And then it rolls down the front. So it's like you're turning like a big bicycle chain, but it's like this big kind of oblong sphere that kind of somehow just kind of rolls around. So you're bringing up the back, breathing it up over now the top of the head, breathing it out, pushing that point on the surface of this oblong ball down the front. So turning it up the back, over the top of the head, rolling in the front. The hips can do counter movement here. And if the squishy oblong oval ball seems like a hard image to follow, then make it like there's like a bicycle chain going around you, or maybe like one of those old vacuum cleaner belts or something. I don't know what it is, but you got one point on it and you're pushing it down as the back rolls up. So it's kind of just rolling around you like this, below your perineum, up over the top of the head. It's kind of circling around you, but you've got one point that you're working with. Breathing in, the breath is like the hands rolling up the back over the top of the head. Breathing out, pushing the hands down the front. Breathing in, you can let the hips go forward as you breathe in, and you're just rolling it up the back, over the top of the head. Breathe out, roll it down the front. And whether the eyes are open or closed, begin to kind of follow that point that you're working with on this big belt or this bicycle chain. You're following with the eyes, you're rolling it down the front. The eyes don't have to be open for this. Just imagine you can follow with the eyes, turning the sockets, going up over the top of the head, and then pushing it down the front. We'll do a couple more like this. Breathing it in at the back. Breathing it out down the front. Breathing it in up the back. Up over the top of that, breathe out down the front. Now, imagine that can keep going and find yourself in a seat. Move this sitting on the floor or on a cushion or a mat, a chair or stool or wherever, but find yourself someplace. And you could do it standing up too, but I would encourage you, if you can, find a place to sit. And we're going to come kind of right into it. So feet flat on the floor if you can. If you're cross-legged, then it will be different, that's fine. Just come back to moving that tube with the hands, breathing it in, rolling it up the back, up over the top of the head. Breathing out, pushing it down the front. It goes down between the legs, below the perineum, the pelvic floor. Breathing it in, just imagine it's right at the surface of the body. If you like, it's just outside the body, kind of rolling up over the top of the head, following the eyes. Breathing it out, down the front. And if you begin to feel this, like you're really turning this thing with the breath, that's great. And if you're just kind of visualizing it, like a point of light rolling up to the top and then rolling down the front, that's okay. And if you're just kind of thinking it, that's okay too. And if you said to hell with all this and you're just kind of breathing and moving the hands, that works as well too. It doesn't give you whatever it is. So you're breathing it in, rolling it up the back, over the top of the head. As you're still breathing in, it begins to come down the face. Breathing in until it reaches the upper palate of the mouth. And then breathe out, it transfers through the tongue down to the lower palate. Just imagine this point of light rolling down the surface of the front of your body, down below the meeting point of yin at the perineum. You're going to breathe in and you're just going to follow the eyes and the breath as it rolls up along the spine, rolls up the back of the head, up over the top of the head, following the eyes if you can, down the front of the face as you're still breathing in, tongue up to the roof of your mouth, breathe out, let it drift down the front. And you can keep doing it with the hands, or if you want, you can release the hand movements whenever you're ready. Breathing in, just imagine you're pulling, a little bit of resistance, just a little bit pulling it with the breath up the back. This point of light rolls up over the top of the head. You're looking up at it as it drifts down the front of the face. When you breathe out, it goes through the tongue. Breathing out, it goes down the chin, the neck, that's the heart, the abdomen, sexual center, down below the meeting point of yin at the perineum. Follow it with the breath, breathing in, breathing it up the back, pulling it up, following it with the eyes, the tongue up to the roof of the mouth. It arcs up over the head. And as you breathe out, it begins to go down the neck and the heart, solar plexus, navel, sexual center, down below the perineum to the meeting point of yin. Follow like that. Breathing it in, holding this point of light, rolling it, pulling it up the back, up over the top of the head. It drifts down the face. And then from the lower palate, breathe out, push. You gently have to push from behind with the breath. Pushing it down the front, following it with your eyes. Down below, it rolls under your sits bones through the perineum, meeting point of yin. Breathing it in past the tailbone and the sacrum and the lumbar vertebrae. It arcs up past the upper back, the back of the head, over the top to the forehead, down past your nose, upper palate. Breathe out, push down the front. You might remain with this point of light, breathing it in up the back, breathing it out at your own pace down the front. Or maybe it becomes more diffuse or feels like some other kind of thing, whatever it is, breathing it in, pulling gently, but with intention all the way up the back of your body, up over the top of your head. Breathing it out, push down the front, along the front line of your body, down beneath the pelvic floor. Breathing it in, pulling it up the back, arcing up over the top of the head, following with the eyes. Breathe out, push guiding it with the eyes and intention, and the hands of your breath, pushing it down the front, at the surface of your body, below the Hui-yin point or the meeting point of yin at the perineum. Stay with it, breathing in, up the back, over the top of the head. Now push, guiding it down the front. Stay with it as best you can, breathing it in, up the back. The attention drifts to other thoughts or just into the haze. That's okay, just bring it back when you notice. Breathing down the front, breathing up the back. Stay with it a few more rounds. Breathing it in, pulling it up the back, up over the top of the head. Breathing out, pushing it down the front. Body back. Pelvic floor, the perineum, meeting point of yin. Up to the roof of the mouth. The eyes are closed or open if you prefer. Breathing it in, up the back. Breathing it out, down the front. You can keep going just like this, with this point of light or this leading edge of movement, following in phase with the breath up the back and the out breath down the front. Where you can begin to let the spinning and the orbiting around the body go a little bit faster than the breath. So you breathe in and adding energy up the back. The point of light or the edge of movement is orbiting around the body now. 2 or 3 or more times with every breath cycle. And as you breathe out, you're just adding energy, momentum, speed, intention, focus down the front. As this point of light is spinning around the body, maybe 10 or 20 times every second, breathing it in, adding speed up the back. Comes like a blur as you watch it spinning vertically around the body. Breathing it out down the front. Stay with it just like this a few more moments. Breathing in, adding speed up the back. It's like a blur of light around you. You're like the center of a gyroscope. Breathing it out down the front and begin to let it slow itself down. You're still guiding it with each in-breath, breathing in up the back as it begins to slow more towards being in phase with your breath again. Breathe out, push it down the front. It's now spinning around the body, maybe 2, maybe 3 times with every breath cycle. Breathing it in up the back. Tongue still up to the roof of the mouth, breathing it out down the front. Till when it's ready, it begins to get back in phase with your breathing. As you breathe it in, you're pulling it now up the back of the body, up over the top of the head, down the front of the face on the in-breath. And the out-breath from the lower palate down the front of the body, past the navel and your sexual center, below the meeting point of yin. A few more times, breathing it in, slowing it down even more, breathing it in up the back, breathing it out, down, 3 more times with your own breath. You bring it up over the top of the head, and as you breathe out and bring it down the front, this time guide that point of light at the edge of movement into the space behind your navel. that it's hovering in the space between your navel and your spine, between the navel and the Mingmen point, the gate of life point on the back. Breathe in and just look down and see this ball of light, and you see it gently expand a little bit in all directions as it sits still in your abdomen on the in-breath. And breathe out, let it return to center with the out a few times. Sit just like this longer if you want. If you're ready, just let that image and the light go. Take a moment to notice what the body feels like. Breathing in as you expand with the in-breath. Breathing out as you release with the out-breath. Notice the parts of your body touching closest to the earth. Parts of you touching whatever it is you're sitting on. And then when you're ready, you can open the eyes. Look around, begin to bring some movement back to the body if there was stillness. You could, from right here, just get up and go about your day. Sometimes, though, after a microcosmic orbit, it takes a little bit to kind of reorient things. So one way to do that, have a moment more with me, is rub the hands together and either touching your face or hovering. Bring your hands over the eyes and imagine you can look into the warmth and the darkness. And then rub your hands together again, get some in the hands. Just take a minute or so. We'll do some final sort of self-massage. So you either hover or touch, you're gonna go up the front line of the face, and then separate the hands, bring them down the sides of the face, like you're inviting in, breathing in. You don't have to breathe with it, you just breathe naturally, bring the hands up the center and down the side, like you're just inviting, that's what I meant to say, inviting any tension in the face to be released. And then open the eyes, take the fingertips and brush them back along the top and sides of your scalp. Just noticing the sensations of the touch, maybe tapping all around sides and top of your head. You can rub your ears with the palms of your hands. Brush up over the top of the head, back of the neck and out. Just clearing out whatever needs to be released. One more time. Take your hands and rub your mid to lower back like you're sending some love to the kidneys. If you want, you can take a loose fist and you can tap. And then take, what is this, your left arm, and you're going to brush down the inside of the left arm, and then brush up the outside / side of the left arm. Brush down the inside of the other arm, brush up the outside. And with the legs, you're going to run your hands down the sides / back of the legs, down as far as you can comfortably go. If you can go at the ankles and come up over the top of your feet, brush up the inside, front of the legs. Release. All right. That is that for today. Now, go about your day, if you like, as if nothing happened. All right. Thank you.